What's up guys, welcome back to Fancy Goldfish Fanatics. Today we're going to be taking a look at some absolutely top class Ranchu, so make sure you stay tuned to find out more. Hey Fanatics family, welcome back. As always, check out those links in the description and make sure to check out our sponsors, Jimmy Goldfish USA and Star Fisheries. Also, make sure to check out our brand new Facebook page. If you search Fancy Goldfish Fanatics on Facebook, you'll be able to find our brand new page where we're going to be posting all of our videos, all of our updates, all of our content, everything like that, which is also going to be linked to the Facebook group. So, on to today's video. We're going to be looking at some absolutely amazing, super high quality Ranchu, some hybrid Ranchu, mostly the Chinese style of Ranchu, real high quality. A lot of you really liked the video that we did on the high quality Oranda, and today we're going to be doing that on the Ranchu because that was a requested video. I'm also going to be doing another episode on the Ranchu as well, but that will be released very soon. So without further ado, let's check out these fish and let's get them on the screen. So first up, as you can see, we have this absolutely stunning black Ranchu. Now one thing to look for when selecting high quality black Ranchu is you really want to be able to see the eyes of the fish, especially with fish with large wen growth like the Chiba Ranchu you can see here. Looking for the eyes is really important, especially on black Ranchu. Some of them don't even have eyes at all, and the wen growth can really cover the eyes of the fish and cause them to have a little bit of a poorer quality of life. So definitely when selecting fish, you want to make sure that the wen growth isn't too excessive, just like on this absolutely quality calico we can see here. We want to making sure that we can see the eyes visibly, and if any surgery needs to be conducted, then we will need to remove this from the fish. I would say surgery is something that needs to be done by a professional. However, we don't want to leave the fish with the wen covering the eyes because it can cause them to have a poor quality of life, as I mentioned, and it really isn't that humane. Although we are breeding the fish to look like that, and then we are then doing surgery, which technically isn't necessary. It comes up in debate whether it's really ethical or not. But when selecting these fish, you want to make sure they have a really nice wen growth. You can see the calico here doesn't have that huge full head of wen. However, it may be a young fish, but when comparing the body proportions to the head, the wen is slightly out of balance, where on the contrary, we have this absolutely high quality black Ranchu, which has really excessive wen growth that generally they do. And also you can see that the caudal fin is quite big as well. And when looking at the fish and the balance of the fish, we want to make sure that the caudal fin isn't too large, the wen isn't too large, and they're out of proportion, because I believe that each end of the fish balances that fish out completely. The fish can be absolutely phenomenal in coloration, skin quality, in swimming pattern, but when comparing the head and the caudal fin, we want to make sure the fish is nicely balanced. And here this black Ranchu is a perfect example of that. The black Ranchu that we saw previously had a really large caudal fin and it looked a little bit out of balance, but that black Ranchu we just had on the screen there had a lovely small tail, but it balanced well with the head, and overall it gave the fish a nice presence. Similar to this calico we can see here, it doesn't have excessive wen growth, but the balance is there with the mini tail and the small head, just like this one we have here as well. We also want to be making sure that the back is nice and smooth. You'll notice on this calico there are a few slight imperfections towards the caudal peduncle and the edge of the back going towards the caudal fin, whereas this Ranchu we can see here, which is a blue, maybe slightly Chiba Ranchu, has a real nice smooth curve, although it has a little bit of a bump towards the back and the flow of the curve isn't quite as continuous as I'd like to see. The quality is really there and the body shape is absolutely phenomenal. When looking at this Ranchu, we can see that the body shape is a little bit flat on the back. Now I'm really going into critiquing the fine details of these fish. All of these fish we've seen on the screen are absolutely top quality, real high quality specimens that you'd expect to pay real top dollar for at any fancy goldfish shop, dealer or breeder. And we're really looking at the real fine details of each of these fish and sort of picking them out. Here we can see an absolutely super high quality black / silver style Ranchu. The back curve, the back width, the head growth, the tail is all in proportion. Great swimming pattern, and overall the quality of that fish was phenomenal. Here we can see that the fish, this calico, has a slightly flatter back. It doesn't quite have the curve and the hump that we've seen on those single coloured fish, and generally you'll find that the single colour fish grow a little bit quicker, they're a little bit more resilient, they have a little bit higher quality body shape to them, and this is similarly found in koi. Generally the single coloured koi grow very quick, very big, and I believe that's because they're slightly closely related genetically to their wild counterparts. I'm not sure if that quite applies to Ranchu because they are so heavily modified by breeding, but maybe something to look into a little bit more, and maybe I will do a little bit more digging and research on that. You can see this Ranchu here has a lovely tail, lovely wen growth. The back is nice and curved, however it's a little bit too compacted for me. That caudal peduncle is near non-existent, and that caudal fin is just blended right into the back of the fish. Whereas if you look at the caudal peduncle on this black Ranchu, you can see there is a gap between the belly, and the caudal fin isn't so pushed into the fish. It hasn't been bred so it's too rounded. You can see the exact same on this red and white Ranchu. The caudal fin has been pushed right into the back of the body just due to breeding. It has an absolutely great head of wen, but I like to see a little bit more elongation to the body, a little bit more Thai style rather than the Chinese heavy curve. You'll see that this calico here as well is more of that Chinese style. Real heavy curve to it, but a real thick set of shoulders on this fish. Now the shoulders I refer to are the bit behind the head, where the head sort of meets into the back. You can call that the neck or the shoulder area. Goldfish don't really have necks, but the shoulder area is that little bit behind, and you can really see on a high quality fish, it will have broad shoulders or a real broad body and a real nice clear defined back where it meets the tummy area, and it has a real nice curvature to that. You'll see on real high quality fish they have that real thick set of shoulders and a real depth to the body. Now this fish here I would say is a metallic tiger Ranchu. Real nice unique fish, definitely not the highest quality fish that we've seen on the video. The colours are a little bit faded. Generally you'll find in hard water that black will maybe come out a little bit more. Maybe the goldfish will molt and completely turn black. Who knows? It is especially hard when selecting tiger fish or fish that have lots of black or lots of metallic orange, as they can molt and change in colour. You'll see on this Sakura, you can really see the back is not quite as we'd like it. There's a little bit of a dink or a dent in the back, and it's quite straight and elongated, not got a real nice curve to it. Similar to this fish, generally the fish with the flatter backs can be referred to as lionheads, which are quite an old breed, similar to Ranchu, but generally a lionhead has a really large lion's mane or a large wen and a real straight back to it. However, none of the fish that we've had on the video today have technically been lionheads. They are all a type of Ranchu, but the lionhead and the Ranchu are very close, very similar, and often it is really hard to find the blurred lines between what is a Ranchu and what is a lionhead. You'll see on this Sakura here, it's got a lovely bit of wen under the chin, which it shows in a real high quality fish. Lovely presence to the fish, really nice crystal clear white, real snow white to the body. You'll see on a high quality fish, it won't have any yellow tinges to it. It will have nice white skin, and there will be a clear definition between the white and any red. Now in Japan, they refer to this as the sashi and the kiwa, which refers to the leading scales before and after the pattern of red, or the patch of red I should say, and the sashi and kiwa needs to be really tight on a high quality fish, having no colour bleed between sort of 2 or 3 scales from that white area to that red area. You want sashi and kiwa to be 1 scale ideally. You want to have the colour real clear cut between the two, and often you'll find on a slightly lower quality fish there will be a little bit of colour bleed between them. Absolutely nothing wrong with the fish, this is purely just for looks and just real show quality fish. But we're coming to the end of the footage. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing all of these absolutely beautiful Ranchu. I would say every Ranchu that we've had on the video now would be an absolutely great fish to own, and anyone would be absolutely thrilled to have them in their collection. So I hope you enjoyed that video. It was absolutely awesome to see all of those absolutely stunning Ranchu, real high quality specimens, amazing fish. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. If you want to have your tank or your fish featured on the channel, then let me know down in that comment section below. And if there's any videos on fancy goldfish or Ranchu or Randa, anything related to fancy goldfish, put a little link down below and I'll have a little look at it. Maybe I'll get it on the reacts, or I'll do a little rating style video or a tank tours video on it. So if there's any videos you want me to put on the channel, put a little comment down below. That is it for today's video. As always, thank you all for watching. Remember to keep those water changes up, and happy fish keeping.